Donald Trump did not say that we need to terminate the Constitution. I know that people on both sides want to believe that it was some comments that were more inflammatory than they really are, and maybe the truth socialers are a concentrated group of people who do hold on to every word that Trump says, as well as, have a lot of angst or, whatever it is. But there's also regular people on Truth Social, things like that. Even more so, let's just get into directly what he said. And for those who don't know what I'm even referring to, over the weekend, I don't remember what day it was. It actually had to be yesterday, or sometime between Sunday and Monday. Trump posted status or truth posts, whatever truth posts are called, just commenting on everything that came out on the Twitter files, saying that, this was obviously proof of everything that they had been talking about and that he should be immediately reinstated as president. And, he said that there were rules that need to be overturned, rules that aided in the corrupt election that went on that need to be terminated, including some in the Constitution. So I am not going to run cover for Trump and say that he could have probably worded that better or should clarify, as he did end up clarifying a little bit later, still with an accusatory tone. But hey, man, it's a man who has been wronged, and now it has been brought to light that it's true. But I say all that to say that the more important story is the weird things that everybody's posting about it online. Of course, people on the left, the Democrats and so on, are posting about it, saying, how could this guy call for the termination of the Constitution if he claims that he loves America so much, blah, blah, blah. He's a hypocrite, such and so on and so forth, which is extremely ironic considering that none of them cared about the Constitution in its current form 2 minutes ago. And anytime you ever try to have a conversation with them about the Constitution, they actually, so I remember back when I was talking to people about the big A word and, during the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and every time I even mentioned the Constitution, nobody would even, they acted like they didn't even know what it was. Like, nobody responded when I brought up the Constitution and the 14th Amendment and things like that. It's very clear that a lot of people don't really know it's been a long time since I've read the Constitution in full. I'm not going to lie to you and say that I read it every weekend or something. But I say all that to say that online people have been saying that he's calling for a termination of the Constitution on the left. Even people on the right have, which has really been kind of exposing their hands on how they feel about the whole Trump situation and everything. But I think that we live in a time where we cannot do this to people's words anymore. And it was very disappointing for me to see people chopping up his words and accusing him on both sides. Even people like Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh made the post, he made a post about the second truth where he tried to, how do you say it? Where he tried to clean up for himself, Trump I'm talking about. And Matt was saying that, but you literally did say that you wanted to terminate the Constitution. It's just no, that's not in full what he said. So let's just be realistic here. Do I think that he needs to be more responsible with the way that he would word something like that? Yes. Yeah. We're not in a time where we're in a very, very, very frictional time. I don't even know how to describe it. There's a lot of friction. There's a lot of animosity going on. So we don't need to use too hyperbolized of language in this way when we're talking about stuff like elections. I feel like that's a little different than what Kanye's doing with his stuff right now. But maybe, I think that we can use stuff like that. But for talking about the Constitution and what we just found out with this information, I understand wanting to attack and pounce right on that information that we've discovered and get it out there, let people know how you feel about it and what you intend on doing and what you think it should be. Like, I totally understand that. But, and, you know, I don't expect anybody to be perfect all the time. So he further clarified what he said. But people running with this notion that Donald Trump all of a sudden wants to destroy the Constitution. Think about what you're saying. That doesn't even make sense. Like, what in the Constitution allowed them to do messed up things? It doesn't even make sense. Like, what if you are of the school of thought of believing that Donald Trump was saying that we need to terminate the Constitution? How would that even correlate to what was happening on Twitter and the suppression that was going on Facebook and all these different social media networks during the election time? If anything, the only thing that would affect it is the First Amendment. And if you're trying to insinuate that Donald Trump, out of the blue, woke up one day so mad because of what happened to him that he just said, screw the First Amendment, you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Because, like, why? Like, that would totally destroy all. That was the foundation of the house of cards that he has built with his following and everything himself. How could that man operate without the freedom of speech? What are we saying here? I'm just saying, like, let's be realistic. When it's funny, the older you get, the more you realize that adults aren't different from children unless they are, if that makes sense. And what I mean is that the naivety never leaves and the maturity never comes until it does. It doesn't come with any age, and it doesn't come equally across the boards, meaning you can be very mature in one aspect and a bumbling baby in another aspect. I know I am, and I won't reveal my secrets, but I'm not this mature on every topic. I'll tell you what. But anyways, I say all this to say that we have to take this as a lesson and say what we mean and mean what we say, and don't be out here like trying to play word salad with people, because that's just not cool. Not in a time where the wrong things taken in the wrong context can cause outbursts. So, like, you know, or bad things to happen to people in real life in a physical fashion. So that's what we need to be mindful of when we think about these kind of subjects. But keep on having discourse. Keep on, you know, speaking your opinions. I just had to throw my 2 cents in there as usual. And yeah.